As I was saying towards the end of the last episode, I'm currently running out of bond time, and I don't have enough bond money. But at the end of these cannonballs, it's actually enough money to buy another bond, and that's the first topic of discussion for this episode is buying bonds. But before I ask you guys a couple of questions on your opinions on it, let's go ahead and roll the intro. Oh. I'm tired of this, man. Can't fucking do it anymore. Too much! Move it out.
Man, what are you doing, man?
Bro! I'm leaving. Don't need to, barge in on me like that anymore, man. Tired of it. Bro. Oh, dude. Thanks for the ride, man. My backpack. So the goal in the first couple episodes was pretty obvious. I mean, I'm trying to make 100 mil here, but I was mostly going for just bond money. Even up to this point, I'm still basically focused on bond money when it comes to making money, just because my stats are fairly low, and none of my money makers are making a ton of cash. But anyways, my question for you guys is, how much do you really care about me buying my own bonds constantly on this series? I can either just skip the whole idea of buying bonds, like every time I buy one, not try to throw the clip in there if you guys don't care, or just B, I don't mind just paying for the subscription on this account, and that way we can focus on making 100 mil, rather than really what I'm doing here is making more like 100 and whatever mil, however much it costs me to keep making bonds during the series. So I don't really think it makes sense to be that focused hard on bonds. Plus there's things that I want to do after making 100 mil, and it just takes longer if I'm focused on making bond money all the time. So I guess my question is, how much do you guys really care about the focus on bonds? I said at the end of the last episode that I would be working on some agility very soon, but I kind of got sick of that, so I headed over to the hunter life for now instead. This gives me 51 hunter, which doesn't unlock necessarily the next best hunter training, but it is going to get me out of here for now. With 51 hunter and my current fishing level, I can catch 2 different fish. I don't know the name of the fish at aerial fishing, but there's 4 different fish you can catch. I can now catch the lowest tier and the second lowest tier, which I figure is going to be a little bit better than just being able to catch the lowest tier fish, and I kind of wanted to try aerial fishing out. Before I head over there, though, we can head to the fishing guild, almost at the Grand Exchange. First, the fishing guild to check how the regular fishing life has been going. As you know, I've been AFKing lobsters at the fishing guild, which really not a lot of fishing training makes a ton of money per hour, so the full-on profits of this haven't been great. Lobsters are pretty solid AFK, and the point I kind of wanted to make was the lower level fishing methods are, get this, much worse than the higher level fishing methods. So I'm starting with some of the lower money makers like lobsters, and you shouldn't expect a ton of money. I don't expect a ton of money either. Look how many I got. A little over 1,200, approaching 1,300, and it's really, I don't even think this is like 200k. It might be right about 200k. I don't know the price of lobsters at the moment. Nope, wrong buttons. I don't know where to tap. And we've got just about 200k worth of lobsters, which I guess isn't too bad since I don't really have much money right now, but with how long it takes to catch them, I think this is the last bit of lobsters I'm going to catch for now. Now that I'm almost at aerial fishing, I just realized that I forgot my knife. I'm going to have to go back for it. I can at least get started here, though. I don't need my knife for really any of the catches, technically. You can just pick up all these king worms and keep catching them, but once you catch a couple of fish here, you can just use a knife on it to make fish chunks, and that's basically your bait. So I will have to go back to the bank, but I'm probably going to hang out at aerial fishing for a little bit. I think I'd rather do this than fishing trawler for my for the outfit, the angler's gear, but it's a little bit slower to do it this way unless RNG really screws you. It's kind of the idea is fishing trawler can get you the outfit a lot faster. On average, it's a little bit faster at least, but it's a little bit more luck-based there. It's a little more consistent getting it here. It takes a little bit less or more time get it while aerial fishing. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Aerial fishing is good for XP though. It's going to be faster fishing XP. And in fact, you get more hunter XP than you get fishing XP while you're here, which is kind of nice because I want to do some hunter money makers in the long run too. But the big thing here is I want to get a higher fishing level for some of those fishing moneymakers I want to do. Not only do most of the fishing moneymakers require a higher fishing level, but even for them to actually be good money, I'm going to need pretty damn good fishing, and I can't even actually get into the fishing guild yet. I'm still using pies to get in there. So let me go grab a knife, and I'm going to hang out at aerial fishing for a little bit. I see one last mark of grace on the course. This is going to give me 145 marks, and like I was saying at the end of last episode, I kind of planned on starting this episode by finishing off graceful, but I wasn't quite feeling it right away. That's why we were doing a little bit of fishing. This should be enough marks if my math is right to head over and buy the rest of my graceful. I need the top, the bottom, and the gloves, so let's get to that. The graceful outfit is hands down one of the most convenient and useful things in the game. I'll be using this for really anything that doesn't have to do with combat, and at this point I don't have a perfect combat setup, so I'll still even end up wearing some of this during combat. But this is going to be extremely helpful immediately for the blast furnace, but really for, like I said, just about anything that doesn't have to do with combat training. Alright everybody, recently moved out of the house, which means I've got no distractions for making this 100 mil. Here's the thing though. I forgot a couple things. First of all, I only packed shirts. It's a weird problem, but either you guys gotta enjoy those yellow shorts that I was wearing in the intro, or nothing at all. Also, I forgot my charger. I'm gonna have to go back for that. That's all there is to it. Gonna need to charge my phone. Lastly, now I don't have a cameraman. You know, I feel like he's following me. I just have a feeling I'm being followed. You ever get that feeling? That's going to be a problem. I don't want to do any videos selfie style like this because you kind of have to play OSRS, what is it, landscape? And you got to take a selfie like this portrait, right? I don't know. I got to figure it out. I will figure it out though. Also, how am I going to upload this? Yeah, I'll have to figure all this out. I gotta go, though. I really would like to do animal magnetism so I can get a backpack and actually do some range training on this series, which requires 18 Slayer, so I'm gonna start off by getting a task of hobgoblins. It's actually a pretty good task. They're solid XP and really don't take much effort to kill, so that's not too bad. 18 Slayer is really easy. I'm already at 9 Slayer. This probably won't take long. Look, we're almost done already. 18 Slayer will be achieved at the end of this skeleton kill. I'm probably not going to do a lot of Slayer on this series overall. To start making good money from Slayer, you do need to put a decent amount of time in, and I guess I'm not totally against that, but I'm already spending a pretty good amount of time on other skills, getting them to the decent moneymaker. I figure by the time I'm trying to focus on Slayer, I'll probably already have hit that 100 mil mark just from the other moneymakers, but we'll see. I would like to get to 55 for broad bolts at least. For now, though, I can do animal magnetism as long as I get some range and some wood cutting levels first. So I grabbed a bunch of throwing knives. I always overestimate how many I need, but I got a bunch of irons and a bunch of steels right now just to get me to at least 20 range before I move out of here. I don't even have any other range gear. I'm just using the knives, so I'm going to hit a ton of zeros apparently and try to grab some range levels from these men here in Edgeville. Unfortunately, early range levels are pretty boring, especially without the backpack. You kind of have to pick up your own ammo unless you want to lose a lot of money, but I'd like to get that backpack, and in the long run, range levels are going to be pretty important for a lot of the stuff I would like to do, so I want to get jumping on that pretty quickly. I'll see you guys. I'm probably at 20 range when I'm going to move on. So this should give me 20 range, which means I can use mithril throwing weapons in general. I'm probably going to do darts instead of knives. These steel knives are pretty powerful. And mithril throwing darts, or mithril darts I guess, there's no darts other than throwing darts. Those are as strong as steel knives, but they're a little bit cheaper. Mithril knives would be even stronger, but I don't need that, and it costs a little more money than what is necessary at the moment. So I'm going to go buy some new supplies, maybe some armor too, and then I got to get to 30 range. I don't know exactly what I'm going to fight yet. I went back to my Slayer assignment, which was skeletons. In fact, I've run out of skeletons to kill on my task, but I didn't leave because I only had a few kills to go until 30 range, and now we've got it. 30 range was needed for animal magnetism, which is for that backpack, and now I just need 35 woodcutting, I think. Hopefully I didn't have this backwards and I needed 35 range and 30 woodcutting. That'd be kind of ironic. Woodcutting was one of the skills I thought I might end up skipping just because the moneymakers from woodcutting are really that bad. There's not one good moneymaker from woodcutting that's at least worth your time. Like, clearly cutting magic and yew logs at the woodcutting guild can still make you decent cash in the long run. It's just really slow per hour for how long it takes to get to those levels anyway. But I do need 35 woodcutting, which will land on the next clip now that I can do oaks. Just about done with woodcutting, but probably for good. I don't think I'll do any more in this series, unless I need another level requirement for something, I guess. I just won't do it for money making like I was saying before. Here goes 35 though, which means I have all the level requirements, and I've done all the pre-quests for animal magnetism, so when I see you next, I'll probably be grabbing that backpack. Ava's accumulator, just about complete. Actually, this is going to be the Ava's attractor that I just got. The worst one. I gotta get 50 range before I can get an accumulator, but any backpack is kind of nice. Just don't have to focus on picking up ammo anymore, which is hands down the worst part about range. I don't plan on training range immediately now, but that was a quest that I wanted to get out of the way. It's probably the only quest I'm going to do on this episode, too. I need to get more questing done in general, but that felt like an important one, so I'm glad to complete it. Now that I've done the one quest for the episode, let's go ahead and head back to fishing. Aerial fishing is actually pretty cool on mobile. In general, it's not necessarily more efficient on mobile, which should be pretty obvious, I guess. Nothing's really more efficient on mobile, but it's definitely more convenient, so it feels a little bit easier to get those efficient rates. Just the combination of things, like clearly trying to tap on all the moving spots. I gotta close and open my inventory fairly often to keep my character moving around. Trying to dice up the fish when there's not a lot of spots around you. Little things like that, I guess. It keeps you pretty active, and it's not very difficult to do. The ridiculous part is I'm only at 80 pearls, and it's 100 pearls per piece of angler's gear. That's 400 pearls needed, and I have 80. I definitely thought it would be a little bit quicker than this to get the angler's gear. For now, though, as you saw at the beginning of this clip, I'm at 68 fishing, and I can officially get into the fishing guild without using one of those Admiral pies, which means I'm just going to go sell off my pies, and I'm going to head back to the fishing guild to switch things up. But first, let's go to the grain exchange. I don't need to sell everything off, but this is basically all the stuff that I have worth a little bit of money. I'm going to keep these steel bars, though I thought I might need to sell them. I'm going to keep them for cannonball purposes for now. I plan on going to the fishing guild and switching from lobsters over to harpoon fishing, so I figure since I have enough money, I might as well buy a dragon harpoon to speed things up a little bit. I don't have the attack level to put this on and use the spec, which gives a temporary +3 fishing boost. That'd be kind of nice, so I'll be working on an attack sooner than later. Not only for that reason, but it'll help. For now, though, it still gives a bit of a boost when doing harpoon fishing, which is exactly where I'm headed. This will be the final clip of the episode, everybody. Just switching over from lobsters to swordfish, basically. This is slightly better cash, mostly because I'm slightly higher level and I have that harpoon. When you combine the swordfish and the tuna overall, it doesn't make a huge jump from lobsters, but we'll see. It's a bit of AFK fishing, and I'll make a bit of money from it. This is going to wrap up the episode like I was saying, though. Pretty good progress in this one. Mostly was focused on that backpack, I guess, and then I got to aerial fishing, which is... Aerial fishing is a lot of fun, but it's a little slower than I expected, so that took a bit of extra time, too. And I guess I did finish my graceful outfit at the beginning, which probably was the more important part. And like I said, while finishing the graceful outfit, that's one of the most important outfits in general to get, so that was a really nice one to finish up. Next episode, I have some more questing and some more combat things to do. Plus, we still have a ton of fishing ahead of us. So thank you very much for tuning in on this one, everybody. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Oh.